vlog 20th September 2022, 20th of March 2022 on a Sunday at 9 in the morning. And I called my mom like an hour ago. She invited me over to see Outlander at noon, or at 2 with her friend. I had a query for her. I'm kind of high right now, but I'm pretty dang close to running out of reefer. I've been up all night. It's 9 in the morning. What time did I get up? Because I didn't get to sleep. What time did I get up yesterday? I've been smoking so much weed. When I smoke a lot of weed and then I pass out immediately after working, and then I wait and I start working when I wake up, and then I just smoke weed whenever I'm awake. It's kind of hard for me to remember when I get to sleep and get up. I think I got up kind of late yesterday, like noon or whatever-ish. Or whatever, I don't know. Yeah, noonish or 1 in the afternoon or something. And so then I worked all night, and now it's 9 in the morning. I don't know, maybe I'll lay down. I got sick of working, I think the other day or whatever, and tried to lay down before I was sleepy and was just laying there, and it was kind of like, what am I doing? But then I did fall asleep, so I don't want to lay down if I'm not sleepy, go back to work. So what I'm doing is tracing the area of the watershed area of different micro watersheds in the mountains around here, and there's different kinds of them. So it's like it has serious artistic potential, the likes of which have never been seen before. When you're looking at and here Boulder is a perfect tapestry for it. When you're looking at creek canyons that are big enough to have side mini creeks that then have side mini creeks off of them, and you have a few layers deep, you have a whole lot of different watersheds, because each little creek that goes off, it's its own watershed. And so you're talking, I don't know the number, but I'm going to get the exact number. You're talking thousands or whatever, and here in Boulder County. And when you zoom out to and I can't remember how many feet, something like 30,000 or whatever, far enough to be able to see the whole county of Boulder. And then you click on all the different watersheds, including all the different munchkin ones, where you can see thousands at once. And then they're all color coded to maximum, 1 through 10 colors. Utilizing all 10 colors. All of a sudden, that whole area is going to appear to be really small. It seriously will reduce the size of it. And all those thousands of different watersheds, there's lots, you'll see patterns, dude. If you do it right and you make it consistent enough, it's all about accuracy and consistency and how it's organized, organizational consistency. You can see different types of watersheds, for example, when you get to the end of a river, you have the canyon, and then you have the ridge on top of the canyon. When you get to the end of the ridge, it breaks off into a flat canyon. And you have various ones of various sizes, and they have a certain shape. They have a shape like this. So if you can make all those that shape with maybe even their own color to identify the type, you can see them and know even exactly how many there are, and then like, um, and then there's a different type of watershed, whether it's just the sidewall of the main creek, or if it's like the sidewall of it with many different little arroyos, versus an actual creek. And of course, you have to use discretion. I'm utilizing what I got from the site and then what I have to add. So, and um, um, so yeah, I mean, I was listening to the book as much as I could, Oligarchs by Woodward or whatever, Woodward, and then, which you should get on Audible, and then science and a lot of music and some like Ukrainian war stuff, but mostly actually music and silence and music, but just sitting there tracing, mindlessly tracing, and it's fun. I'm like little kid in a coloring book. Like the little kids in the what do you call it? The refugee kids in the subways and stuff. I saw the video of it, and the little kid, and he's just like coloring away. Yeah, it's like addictive. I was enjoying it. I was having fun. I was getting really good at it too. When you get into like just the, I guess left brain or whatever, I was just tracing it, holding down, and accuracy was good. And I was fast. So yeah, and then the other section would be organizing it, which is a totally different. I look at it as a totally different project. So I can get into that too the same way, but I can't switch over like right away. I would have to like get to a stopping point, take a break, and get up and do it. Do it in sections, for me to get into the flow. I had a coffee like a half hour ago or whatever. Maybe I should have another one. I didn't feel like I was going to yawn so much before I did the video. Yeah, one of the things that I was listening to though, like a couple ago, like maybe 3 hours ago. Okay, I'm like surfing around or whatever on YouTube, just like want to listen to something, because I have to listen to stuff that's like background that's not gonna like be useless to hear. I don't want to hear like audiobooks if I'm not learning anything from it. If it's just background, I can deal with it if it's background, but I can't. If it's sort of background, I'm learning something from it. But if it's 100% background, I'm learning anything, nah, don't listen to it, because you're just burning yourself out on it. You're wasting. It's just going to be annoying to hear it next time, because it'll remind you the first time that you weren't absorbing it. So it's better just listen to like interviews or whatever. And so I was like, hey, what's going on in the like triathlon world, right? Because that's what I would want to do eventually. So I listened to a triathlon interview with like a triathlete. I was like, all right, whatever. And then the interview was like an hour-long interview. And then the interview ended, and I'm working away while I'm doing it. And then all of a sudden, I started like thinking about the triathlete's life and like my life, and like that's something I try. It's something I try to avoid, because it makes me question my own life. It's kind of like one reason why my mother, when she's always tells me to get a job, sell my bike, and not train so hard whenever I try to do it, especially when she says get a job, I lose focus, and I start feeling like I start feeling like she doesn't understand my mission, and so then she doesn't understand my website, and that's because my website's fucked. And so I need to just work harder on my website, so I quit doing the training. And, oh man, I lost my goddamn train of thought. I was gonna fucking get to a point. Oh yeah, so then when she's like, says that, it breaks my train of thought. And so, but another thing is if I pay attention to that world, it kind of bugs me. And so I try to avoid it. I forgot what it does. And I, yeah, after it was done, I was thinking about it, like my life, and comparing, and all of a sudden, like I had this like fucking panic attack, dude. I had an actual legit panic attack. Like what happened was my heart rate started pounding like out of my chest. My heart started just pounding out of my chest. And I got like, I got adrenaline. All this adrenaline started pumping through my body. And I got like really angry, like really, really, really angry, like at the world. And at like God and like myself, my life, my fate and everything. And everybody, mainly everybody else, just like really angry. And then I started like just naturally, not trying to, but just naturally started like imagining myself. I must have been really high or something. Like seriously considering like just quit doing the work on the website and just try to train again. Maybe now's the time to try to train again. And so I was imagining myself doing it, training and then doing a race. And this is the first time this has ever happened that I remember. First time it's ever happened. I mean, I remember 2 times I've had Kundalini. It's only been 2 times. 2 times. One time with my mom. And that was 1 time. And then another time that I can't remember. And then sometimes, in the meditation of Vipassana. But I can remember there a couple times. And then like 2 times when like spirits talk to me. You know, things just happen like once or twice in your life and you remember it. And this is the first time this happened, dude, in my whole life where I could imagine myself, I could see myself in a triathlon, like riding or running. And I think it was running, only I felt like I was floating, like it was a dream, like floating, like those ancient, like, Asian TV movies where they're running on top of the treetops. Like I was flying. And like well-oiled train, like a bullet train on air, on magnets. I was just like flying and like I was winning. And like, but I was like, I felt like I was like, it was like Kundalini. That's what it was. I felt like I had Kundalini. I could feel myself experiencing Kundalini in a bike race, but it was some kind of like magical, where I was soaking in all the world's energy. And I was like, defying the laws of physics. Like I was like winning the world's pro category, not age group, because it was like, because I mentally conjured up superpowers by sucking ether right out of the sky. Just felt myself floating, like slicing through the air. And it was because it was helping me imagine it, because I have this time trial bike. And I remember how that thing was cutting through the air when I rode it. I rode it only twice. I did the Ironman course. And at the beginning, I was like going really fast. Not even producing that many watts, going really fast. But then, like, because that was the very first time I ever rode the bike. Like, I think the very first time the bike had ever been ridden. And those things are built for like pro athletes because they're like only pro athletes ride those. Pro athletes are like 160 pounds. The men and the women are like less, and I'm like 195. Plus, I had like I drink a lot of water, so I had like the whole thing loaded up with water too and food, and like maybe like halfway through, like the frame bent enough that turned out that I had the wrong tires on when I bought the bike. I bought other tires that weren't the race tires because the race tires are like $200, and the tires are too big, and it started rubbing on the frame. Every time I got out of the saddle, the bike was rubbing on the frame. Like I could barely go. Like every time I took a pedal, like I'd like lurch forward. It was like I was squeezing the brake every time I got out of the saddle. It was fucked. But at least when I was out of the saddle, it wasn't really doing that. But it was sometimes like it was getting worse and worse. And like yeah, like. But I managed to do it in the end, and I was the first time I did a bike ride where my Garmin told me where to go because it was just like it's 113 miles, and so it was like confusing course, like here this way that way. So I plugged it in the route, and I did the thing where it just showed me where to go, and I just followed it. And it fucking worked like a charm. It was amazing. Love the technology. I want to like do that some more, especially like with mountain bikes for like complicated like routes through the trees and stuff. That'd be cool. But anyway, so then I was like, that kind of made me think seriously, like, should I do it? Like, because technically I could quit whenever I want, and it's only a matter of how I feel about my website, and my website does get more and more advanced, and I can quit whenever I want. It's not like there has to be a stopping point. That's all constructed by my own head. So the only thing that would hold me back from being able to be training all the time is if I feel satisfied with my website. Another thing that bothers me, that freaks me out and makes me feel like I have to work on my website is when people they just love to needle me and rub it in that my website's useless and I'm useless, and it's like unbelievable. Like a couple months ago, I mean, I don't like talking trash about people, but I don't want to sound like I'm just a bitch making stuff up. A couple months ago, okay, I won't say who it was, but a couple months ago, somebody comes over who I know really well. And like they're hanging out or whatever with my mom and me, and we go out on a hike and stuff and come back, and they don't ask me anything. And then all of a sudden I'm alone with my mom's like, show me your website. I show him the website, but he's just like looking at his cell phone. And then he goes, hey, get a job. You seem to like maps. Go get a job over at the map place. And I was like, but I'm working on my website. And he goes, oh no, you get a job. I'm sure you'll like it. And I was like, no, but I don't need the money. Why would I get a job? I don't need the money. And then right then my mom comes back and like they break it up. He didn't really want to talk to me, so they'd start talking. And then when he leaves, he goes, I guess as he was leaving, he turns to me. He goes, yeah, you go get a job at the map place. The map company will like it when you make them the map. And then leaves. And I'm like, but before that, like my mom mentioned like that I needed to get a job. And then that guy's brother goes, yeah, get a job. You get a job. And my mom's like, yeah, you get a job. And I'm like, and I go, but then if I won't finish my website, and then he just turns down, doesn't answer me. And so like, it's like, people love to interject from just out of the blue, like, and rub it in and stuff. And even if I don't need the money. So it's like some kind of jealousy, I don't know, but that happens. And if that happens too much, I kind of freak out, and I feel like I need to just finish my website, at least make it so that people don't feel like they get to like say that, like, haha, useless website, go get a job for somebody else, But But I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking about doing the writing, and I won't know if I'm going to be able to do that, without being distracted until I actually start doing it. Because I have tried. I tried it in 17 and for like a month, 20 for like a month, and even I think in 21 last year. Was that a month or something? And then another time later on in like October for 6 days. I think maybe last year was the first time I tried it twice in 1 year. It's like I'm trying it more frequently now, as only the times that I try it are less in duration. But yeah, but because it also depends on my mother, because I hang out with her so much. We're kind of so intertwined. Her opinions matter, and it can just distract me, especially at the beginning, because I've never been able to do it for more than a month because I always bounce back. And it's also extremely difficult for the whole month because it takes 3 months to grow new dendrites in your brain to form new habits. And I've been living this life for so long, like 20 years or whatever, to where I'm just hanging out on my bed working on tedious stuff on my website, that I kind of have my own routine, and my brain is just set in its ways, and I'm 48. So I'm like the can't teach an old dog new tricks type of thing. And so to just switch over and become an athlete, it actually causes my body to do some really like strange things, reactive things. Kind of like when I do videos, all of a sudden I start yawning all the time. Whenever I start exercising all the time, all of a sudden I can't sleep. The last time I tried to ride my bike was in like October for 6 days. You can go back and look at my vlog. I talk about it. And when I quit because I couldn't sleep, and I just felt like I was wasting my time, you know. Because another thing is I'm like, 48, older, and my website's still so like basic. It's like, my God, just finish it by now. So I'm laying in bed thinking that, and then I just quit. I'm like, yeah, you can't do this. But but after that, after I quit, I was up for 2 nights straight. I didn't sleep at all for 2 nights, and I'm just working the whole time on my website, right? But I didn't sleep for 2 nights, and like an entire like day after that. I can't remember the exact hours, but it was like 48 hours plus another 18 or something, It was like, or more. It was like 60 hours. I was just awake, without even a single second of sleep. And that was all because I was riding my bike. Like my legs and my body was like sore or whatever from all that. And but the other times when I try to ride, I had such bad insomnia that like the time I rode the time trial bike on that one time on the Ironman course, I didn't sleep the night before. And I like don't sleep, and so I have to sleep, right? Because I can't like have insomnia. I'm not in shape, so I can't have insomnia all night long, not get any sleep, and then get up the next morning and then just go ride my bike. And even if I could do that, I'm not going to, because I'm trying to enjoy myself. Like that's my whole, and maybe I'll explain that if I have time in this video. But my training philosophy is, you have to enjoy yourself, and so you can't do crazy ass like torture yourself for like no reason like that. Like torture yourself when you're fit. If you're trying to accomplish something, like a big ride or something, but not like that. You need to get your sleep, So I would like, if I'm up all night and I can't get to sleep until like 9 in the morning, then I would have to sleep. But if I have to sleep, I sleep 8, and so then I can't get up until 4. That means I would only get like an hour. I can only get like an hour of daylight or a half hour of daylight. And so I can either do like an hour-long bike ride outside, or I could just ride my trainer in here until 10, but I can't ride through the night because I live in an apartment, and the neighbors will complain if I'm after 10 or before 7. So it kind of gives me like no hours to train, because the hours that I can train because of my circumstances in the apartment don't align with the hours that I'm awake. So it causes problems, because if I need to like train, I need to train hours, like lots of hours. And then the next 24-hour segment has to include lots of hours, day after day. It can't be like 1 hour, because I was only able to do it 1 hour because I was fucking laying in bed like this the whole rest of the time. And then the sun finally comes up and I'm like, and then when I wake up, it's like, oh no, I have like this much to do. Now I gotta go to sleep because the neighbors, you know? It's the worst situation to be in when I'm trying to do it again, living in this apartment with fucking neighbors. If I was on the ground level, I'd be able to do it, because it's my downstairs neighbor who complains because they hear my rollers go right above them, above their bedroom. My bedroom's above their bedroom, and over the ceiling, and they just fucking don't take it, man. Send me like letters of complaint twice, and so 24 hours of fitness isn't open anymore, but I don't think I even could do that. I would have to be concentrated in my own head, not surrounded by other people, and this is where I'm at now. So yeah, that's why it's complicated and really difficult, like when I start again. So it's just a matter of like, if I can like figure out a way to sleep at night, because my body, for some reason, it's not just that I have insomnia, that I can't sleep. I mean, I sleep 5, 6, 8 hours a day like the next person. The problem is I can't sleep during the goddamn night. I only sleep during the day. No matter what I try, the sleeping is only during the daytime and not during the nighttime, no matter what. That's what the problem is. Like, I could be up for 2 days and then like try to be up during the day, sleep at night, it won't happen. Or I could like sleep for 2 days and then try to be up during the day and sleep at night. It won't happen. I'll be asleep during the day, no matter what, all day. And then of course there is going to be no sleeping at night, day after day. That's what happens every time. So, and so while I'm literally still struggling with that, and I go and I'm trying to go on a hike with my mom and help my mom like vacuum, I have to deal with her being like, time for you to get a job. You go get a job. And I'm like, don't you understand that if I go get a job, now I don't have any time to try to train? And I already only have like an hour a day to train anyway. And on top of that, I don't even remotely need the money. Like, why are we having this conversation again? We've been having this conversation for 38 years. What's the problem? Why do we have to say it all over again? She's like, who? Wait, what? Ah? She's really soft, my mother. One thing about both of my parents, extremely soft in the head. The kind of people you have to just explain over and over again. And then it gets to the point where like you explain it so thoroughly that you know they have to understand. And now but then they push back against you at that point, because it's them being like, oh, I understood all along, I just didn't want to. Or like, I didn't now, but now I realize that I didn't, but I don't want to, so I'm not going to. So it's like really crazy. Anyway, what the fuck was I talking about? Got off on another tangent. Maybe I'm being moody because I'm really high and I've been up all night. Oh yeah, that's what my goddamn mom says, which fucking distracts me, dude. Like, I can't hear that more than 3 or 4 times. If I hear that like more than a dozen times, like within a course of like that month or whatever, like I freak. I'm like, oh shit, I feel like everybody's watching me. Those nightmares where everybody's watching you and laughing at you. And I'm like, oh shit, I gotta like work on my website and get it up to respectable level, because my mother is like trying to tell me that I need to forget about the whole bicycling and forget about the website and just go get a job at this point, because it's like getting me to stop working on the website and riding my bike was just the first step in what she really wanted, which was to just stop everything and go get some job at the coffee shop because that will lead to me meeting somebody or something like that. So yeah. So anyways, I called my mom at 7:15 this morning, and I woke her up, and I'm like, hey, I figured out a way where I could like be an athlete and start training. And I go, instead of you signing the 3 agreements, you just sign the 1 agreement. Don't hound me all the time to get a job, because I definitely don't need the money. But she just loves to hound me because she's kind of an evil person. So she goes, oh, you woke me up. And I was like, oh, well, it's like 7:15 in the morning. Why are you sleeping? Like, old people are supposed to get up. Like, what the fuck? You freaking lazy or something? No. That's not what I said, but I was like, I go, you're not up? Like, it's 7:15. And she goes, oh, well, at 2 o'clock this afternoon, my friend, whoever, whatever, is coming over. I can't remember. Linda. Oops, maybe I shouldn't have said the name. My mother is extremely crazy when it comes to privacy. Coming over to watch the new Outlander series, and do I want to come, and then we can talk about it then. So which I kind of took as kind of like an encouraging sign. Maybe she would do the 1 agreement. The 3 agreements, which she adamantly refuses to sign. So it's kind of like we were at a stalemate before, which I was happy about. But now I'm kind of maybe thinking about training for my own reasons. Where number 1, she can't hound me over and over again about how I need to sell all of my bicycles. Number 2, hound me all the time telling me that I'm training too much, that I need to stop it all the time. Both of my parents are all about stop it, whatever you're doing, you have to stop it. And then the 3rd thing is don't tell me constantly that I need to go get a job, even though I don't need the money. And she's like, hell no, I ain't signing that. I'm going to say that stuff. So I was like, all right. So I called her this morning, and I was like, hey, look, I have an idea that we can make it work, because I know she really doesn't like the life that I'm living now. And so this is a way out. I go, just sign the 1 agreement. The 1 agreement is where she promises not to hound me all the time about getting a job. Just don't tell me to get a job. Because, like, I'm fine. I'll never have to work in my life. I'm loaded. I'm Mr. Richie Boy. Why would I get a job? Jobs are for people with money. You know what I mean? Like, I don't worry about money. Like, what? Money? Work? That's not me. I know, you're jealous. Don't be jealous. My website, dude. Look at my website. I busted my ass. You need to be jealous of people who don't bust their ass. The lazy ass is not me. But my mother, she's a saboteur monster. She just loves it. She gets off on it. So yeah, we'll see. We'll find out today if she will agree to do the 1 signing, to not hound me to go get a job all the time. Yeah, get a job though. It's like, bitch, I fucking slept all day. I only had 1 hour to work. You want me to go get a job? That will completely disrupt my whole fucking thing. So we'll see if she refuses to sign the 1 agreement, not to hound me to get a job all the time today, then I will just continue to work on my website and work on these runoffs. This runoff thing, like, just due to the different shapes of the runoffs meaning different things, you can see it, and color coded and then numbered. The effect of condensing down the space, it's going to make the Boulder County area, the whole area, especially the mountains, I think, shrink and seem really small, dude, like a room or whatever. And I don't know, maybe I'll go ahead and put the fences around the edge of it, and to imagine that they're like different, like, estates all connected, because they're like the size, once you break it down to the size that I'm breaking these bitches down, I should go compare it now, but it's damn near fucking similar to the size of like the acreage, like 3 acres, dude. You're talking like 3 fucking acres, 2 or 3 acres. The size of Westlake, what's it called? Whatever, North Hollywood Hills, Hollywood area, enclosed neighborhood, where Stallone and Denzel Washington and Eddie Murphy and those guys live, Mark Wahlberg. Yeah, man, like, so yeah, don't forget, Mark Wahlberg's house, his front and backyard's the same size as a mountains out here, Gulch, I think. I'll go check it, but I'll have the data for all of these anyway, so anyways, yeah, there was a little bit of a development, and for today, and I think I'm gonna go. Oh man, smoke the rest of my weed. I'm about out. Yeah, smoked literally the rest of my weed. Listed to some tunesy woonsy woos, and then work some more, and then go watch Outlander with my mom and have a conversation with her, like having been up like forever, and I'll just be super like laid back, like super like emotionally disengaged, and matter of fact, business like I'm a lawyer performing the meeting on behalf of me, and just whatever she says, whatever, those are the rules. The rules are pretty black and white, so you know what I mean. So that's it. I'm gonna go listen to some music now. Talk to you later.